Ready when you are. Yep. So, good morning. Firstly, thank you all for coming. Thank you to the industry representatives, and also a quick thank you to the teaching staff. We couldn't have achieved what we have without your support and guidance throughout this past 2 semesters. Without further ado, please enjoy our presentation on Golden Answer. Golemancer takes place in the magical realm of Zorbaheim, a place of fused with enchantment. From the lofty battlements of cloud-born castles to the raging calders of puissant volcanoes, the folk of Zorbaheim make all manner of unlikely locales their home, living out lives rich with magic, some achieving great mystic works. The player takes on their role in the quiet corner of this setting as a magical shopkeeper, with the rare ability to form stone figurines out of ore and charge gems with magical energy, combining them to bring the stone to life and create golems. With their creations, they use them as workers or wares, traveling the realm, honing their skills, improving, aiming to one day become the true Golemancer. Golemancer is a game for mobile Android platforms. It is a combination of minigame collection style games presented as a shop management game. The core mechanics of the minigames are tapping, swiping, and tracing, aiming to challenge the player's accuracy and timing. Our target audience are the young and the young at heart, people who jump onto the Google Play Store or other online game collection sites looking for a novel, interesting experience, something they've just never seen before. Golemancer will appeal to these players through its satisfyingly tactile minigames and the characterful, fantastic setting through which they are presented. The core game loop begins with the resources in the player's inventory. The player uses the crafting minigames to refine these into components. The components can then be combined to create golems, which appear in the player's screen. From here, they can either choose to put them to work in a mining portal, through which the player can gain resource pouches. These are opened in the player's inventory to gain more resources and create more golems. Alternatively, they can sell them to passing NPCs for gold through the selling minigame. This gives them gold, which is used to travel the various realms of Zorbaheim. At the core of this game loop is the process of making the golems and the minigames that the player does this through. The components that the player creates in the minigames receive a grade depending how well the player performs in said minigame. This can range from very bad, such as junk, all the way up to mystic. The quality of the golem that players create is dependent on the grade of its constituent parts. The minigames overall aim to challenge, as I've said already, the accuracy and timing of the player. Firstly, the smelting game has the player tapping the surface of their device to bring the temperature of the smelting pot into an optimum range. While it's in there, the player will score quality points. The second game is the shaping game. In this one, the player must accurately trace runes which appear on the surface of a ore brick. Obviously, the more accurate they trace, the more points they'll gain, but there's an element of timing here whereby the faster the player can do this process, the more points they can get. This process provides the player with a shell, the first component to making gold. To make the second component, a cut jewel, the player starts the cutting game. In this game, the player taps and swipes on cut lines on the surface of a gem, receiving points depending on their accuracy of their swipe. Similar to the shaping game, timing is a factor here. The more swipes you can accurately put down, the more points you can score. With the cut gem, the player can then take it into the polishing game, whereby the player scores points by quickly, vigorously rolling their finger along the surface of the gem. The faster they do this, the more points they'll gain. So completing this process, the player will have a golden shell and a charged jewel. They can then take these into their inventory and combine them to create a new golem. From here, the player can sell the golem can put the golem to work in the mining portal, which provides the player a resource pouch to fill their inventory with more resources. The type of resources the player gains from these pouches is dependent on which area of Zorbaheim they're currently visiting. In the selling minigame, the player can tap passing customers and drop a golem in front of them to start selling a golem to them. In the selling minigame, the player needs to tap accurately in time with the indicator on the bottom left to make their golem kind of romp and cavort in front of the NPC, helping it appear more appealing to them and increasing the amount of gold the player gains. Ultimately, the player aims to use the gold that they accrue to travel to the different areas of Zorbaheim, which they can see in their travel screen. Here they can peruse the details of the places they're going to visit, initiate the travel event, and each environment has a different NPC and gem type associated with it. From here, the player wants to visit each of the 4 locations, thereby gaining access to the 4 different gem types. Each gem type will create a different type of golem. And if the player makes a golem whose components are all of the mystic quality, the highest quality, they will create something called a true golem. Unlike the others, these can't be used as workers and wares. Instead, they're a celebration of the player's abilities and mastery over the processes in the game. The player wins the game when they achieve 1 true golem of each of the 4 gem types. In addition to the single-player story mode, we also wanted to provide the players a way of sharing the elements of experience with their friends, and the mini-games are well suited for that. So we've also included a party mode, which streams the 4 crafting games and the bidding game into a single party mode gauntlet. It can support 2 to 6 players, and the players basically just take turns playing each of the mini-games in sequence, and whoever has the highest quality rating at the end wins. So Golemancer is similar mechanically to other minigame collection games such as WarioWare, and similar in sentiment to shop games and management games such as Tiny Farm. However, the thing that makes Golemancer distinct and compelling is the manner in which it links its minigames to the setting it presents them through. The peripheral systems of combining components, forging golems, experiencing the environments and NPCs all help to make the player feel as if their actions take place in a vibrant living world, and also help their actions feel much more meaningful. Overall, Golemancer will provide novelty to the target audience in this manner. Moving forward, we're looking at updating the world of Zorbaheim and really fleshing out the foundation of content that we've achieved thus far. Specifically, one big request we had from playtesting was to really make the various places you visit and the resources you craft feel mechanically distinct. So we'd be adding additional features to the way the player can refine those resources, as well as giving different ways for the player to travel to the current locations, as well as adding more locations for the player to experience. Our overall goal with Golemancer was to provide players with a fun, engaging, enchanting experience, whereby they could enter a world of magic through the creatures they create. Our hope is that through this experience, they'll receive a great deal of satisfaction, an experience that they can share with their friends, bring a smile to their faces, and feel as if they hold magic in their hands. Thank you.
James. I'm the lead game engineer at Capstone. Good presentation. It's really cool to see you go in depth with how you imagine the core systems, like the micro gameplay of each individual mini game, going into the macro goals of actually like achieving the perfect goal for each region. So it's really cool to see how each of those like levels of interaction with the player sort of go towards the final goal. So a really good job highlighting that. The only thing that I would bring up is there any way that, so from the presentation it didn't seem like there was too much of a reason to move between worlds other than work in one world, create the perfect goal and move to the next world. Is there any mechanic currently or planned to be that would mean that I would be encouraged to unlock new worlds and swap between them, or is it just you want to grind one out, get to the max level and then move to the next one?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point. So currently the main incentive is more the aesthetic experience of finding out what the next town looks like. And that's definitely something that, also the point you raise is definitely something that was flagged from our playtesting. And so moving forward, yeah, as I mentioned, we're wanting to increase not increase, but diversify the mechanical experience. So the idea of refining a ruby would be different to the process of refining a sapphire.
Yeah.
And that like curiosity of what the next refining process would be like is what would draw players to visit the other towns. So it isn't just aesthetic, it also mechanical.
I think it might also be cool just to have a reason to revisit places as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my main point, at least in that, because at this point in time it feels like you have a bit of a grind to get to the goal of a region, and then you just move on to a next area where there's more of a grind. Whereas if you had sort of lower level goals to achieve in each area that would require you to move between or something, might leave some more engagement. Other than that, it looks pretty fun. I'm going to give it a download and
awesome. Thank you very much.
It's always nice and easy when it's on the Google Play Store.
Yeah,
so it's definitely a good distribution method. So nice job there. And yeah, it looks really nice. So good job.
Hi, I'm Miriam. I'm the line ops manager for Capstone. I don't know if I missed it in the presentation, but you talked about making gold and then selling it for gold. What exactly is the gold used for?
The gold is used primarily to travel between different locations, and it can also be used as part of the crafting process. I didn't mention it specifically in the presentation, but you have a set number of times you can retry to try and achieve the best possible quality. Once you run out of those retries, you can purchase them with more gold. But I suppose that gold, the use of gold might tie into what you're mentioning with revisiting towns and a reason to and a system to interact with. So I'll bet that.
I just wanted to ask as well, I know myself, I don't really have such a long playtime when I do play mobile games. There seems to be a lot of different mini games, a lot of processes required in order to get to the end goal of making gold. Is there going to be a way to sort of pay to surpass that if I stay really lazy?
I suppose we haven't really thought about that. We kind of considered, we thought it was pretty important for players to engage with the crafting process. But for sure, like, there's no reason why we wouldn't do that.
Did any of your players sort of want the Pokemon build your dragon? I'm watching this, there's a lot of work going on. Like Miriam, I suck at, well, not like, I simply suck at the crafting, but the value of, say, getting particularly pretty that would be nice is something that I would be looking for here. And then, to kind of go back to this idea of moving between places, I discover I can get this like pretty going because I've got this and I go back to that place. And, that whole Pokemon collecting, what's the baby dragon one where you build your dragons up?
I know what you're talking about. But combining different like lower grade items into one. Like so, for example, mixing like a red gem with a green gem to make a.
It's sort of Neopets thing, isn't it? Do you remember Neopets? Neopets was one of the most popular websites of its day because it let you make your own pets. And it seems to me that because you've got these golems in there, I would have thought there'd be a response around, but I'm selling that golem because it's so pretty.
Yeah, there was definitely a sentiment of that of some players. Some players just totally engaged with the process as it was laid out. Right? They made the golems work as always, etc. But some players definitely went like, oh, he's my golem. I want him there, leave him in the playpen for longer and like complete the game without selling it, which was interesting, and we should definitely work to put a provision for those players. I think it's really good.
Hey, so I've got two very quick questions. So the first one is, what kind of multiplayer is there? You mentioned that it's 2 to 6 players, but how do you support that multiplayer experience?
Oh, right, of course. It's just local, so it's the idea is you pass the tablet around.
Yeah, cool. So passing that. And secondly, so I think this has already been alluded to in some of the other questions, but does challenge increase over time as you progress from the first zone to the later zones?
Yeah. The main part of the challenge, which increases, is the number of retries you have. So your threshold for error during the minigames decreases decreases by town and associated resource, depending which order you unlocked it. That was to say increase the amount of difficulty, but also give the player a reason to use their gold as they approach the end game, given that once you've unlocked all the areas, there's no real use for gold. But having it there as a nice, I suppose, facilitator to the process of finally finishing those last few golems is the main.
Cool, alright. It was good. It was good. I think you guys have done a really good job at marrying the 2D and the 3D together without it being really against each other, which is good. It's always a hard thing to do, so you've done a really well done. Nice little visual effects and everything as well. I mean, I've already told you guys this stuff in the past, but I also want to just commend you on not getting phased about the lack of audio. So
Yeah.
you did a good job and just kind of professionally went through that. It was like, okay, that's it. Alright, fine, continue. Not, oh my god, stuff. That was good. So I'm really, really pleased with that. It's a shame you didn't have audio, but you handled it in a very professional way and didn't outwardly go at the same time. So yeah.
Well, it's not entirely missed opportunity. The trailers on YouTube, so if you use it,
it's good. But we've seen many a presentation where something like that's happened and it's just destroyed the rest of their presentation. So I find it actually quite rare that it phase students doing the presentation.
That was a
really well done.
it's always
It's amazing into a positive.
it revealed your professionalism actually in that. So that was something. So it was interesting because the previous team had sound. So
we have literally in the notes the settings for the sound and the settings for the speaker, which are there.
for some reason, no, it doesn't matter now.
Hang on, was it changed? Actually, you know what?
It doesn't matter. Nothing happened. I'm thinking about the next team. We need to make sure. But that's fine. You handle it well, so it's not even an issue because you actually show professionalism in being able to cover that.
Actually,
so
improvement for you guys. So I think it went well.
So are you considering the blue box program and so forth?
Yeah, there's more discussions to be had, and we wanted. I mean, the feedback you gave us was really good, and also kind of in line with the area we're looking at. So we want to have those changes in a future update before we approach blue box, just like we're not coming with something half-baked.
Well, I'll have to push you out the door. We're
Yeah.
running out of time. Thank you very much, Pierre. Pleasure supervising.